So let's get to it.
What's up, everybody? It's Heat Override, and I'm ready to bring the pain for you and Dr. Roto this week. Oh, yeah! Man, it's playoffs, round one. Probably the last time I'll ever see my horns up Rams Nation, but not deep in my heart do I believe we've already beat the Vikings once this year. We could beat it again. What's up, everybody? It's time for the Ultra Contrarian Show. Oh, yeah. Woo! How's everybody doing, man? I mean, I hope at this point all your fantasy leagues are over. I hope you've checked out my show on Tuesday talking about all the playoff best ball leagues as well as many different other leagues, one and done leagues. You get one player, some leagues are doing just one team. You know, you pick that team and that's it. That's all you get for that round. Then you go to the next round, then you go to the next round, or stuff like that. So there's so many different ways. I mean, squares are coming back out again. So that's what's so fun about the playoffs. But unfortunately, that means that football is coming into an end, and that's very sad. But not sad for Lou at Dr. Roto, because, you know, Lou Landers is already in knee deep. Nah, he's in waist deep. No, chest deep. No, he's in over his head with baseball content. Cam's been definitely giving out there, giving his rankings. So you have to head over to Dr. Roto, use code word DOC, and that will get you a percentage off of your subscription so that you can bring the pain to the competition. It's like sweet wine, man. I rhyme all day. That's what we do. Yeah. Well, I mean, when you got content that's good at Doc, I mean, you can only do it. So let's get this started. I don't want to take your time. Of course, there was no hit show this week. The hit show, of course, all my reviews will now be Tuesdays. So I'm going from 3 podcasts down to 2. However, I would never, as for my main podcast, of course, Bring the Pain, you can always go to my site and check out all of my interviews, like my Simon interview that I did with Simon Shackleton, aka Elite Force. But let's get to it. We're here to win some football. And guess what? There's so many different ways. I mean, you can pick one quarterback each, and you make 6 different lineups, and we'll see how it goes. That's practically what everybody's going to do, other than the people that lineup train. But, hey, lineup trains could be popular right about now since everything's, but this is the thing. Lineup trains don't always know about trends. Lineup trains aren't always good about hot streaks. And lineup trains don't know the Rams beat the Vikings 30-20. So, that being said, which the game was awesome itself, that's what I want to get to. And I will give you a few sways and a defense that will definitely be sneaky. People will not be picking them. Even if this team loses, well, even if the Rams lose, they will do it. So let's get quarterback, Matt Stafford. I'm not allowed, or what? I'm not allowed to say his name? You guys scared? You think the Rams are going to be in LA and going to get punked by Sam Darnold, who has just been at times terrible? Last week got punked by Detroit. Detroit just, and they couldn't even, it seemed everything he threw towards Justin Jefferson's way was off. That one pass in the end zone where he overthrew Justin Jefferson, the previous play that Justin Jefferson caught to help him get to that position, he had to stretch out like he was Lynn Swann playing the Rams back in the Super Bowl in the Rose Bowl. If you know what I'm saying. Yeah. Right. So when you got to go that far out the way, if you're that far off, and Jared Verse and Kobe Turner and Bobby Brown and Brandon Fisk and Young are all getting to the quarterback, there's going to be big problems. All right. So we're definitely could see a turnover. So therefore, Stafford's going to be in great position. Yes, I know the Rams have been crappy, but that's because that's what McVay does. He gets to this part of the season. He ran the ball a lot. He was using Corum a lot. Everybody's like, hey, where's Corum come from? Because the Rams were resting. And if you think Cooper Kupp's a joke, you're the joke. Because I'm going to tell you right now, he's going to ball out. It don't matter what's going to happen. He's going to ball out. But he didn't make my play because right now what's going on is the Rams are in love with the Buka. So that being said, let's get over to my first running back. All right, Stafford, 5,700 on DraftKings, 7,100 on FanDuel. I ain't scared of playing. You scared? All right, well, that's on you then. Right? We're going to go Jaleel McLaughlin. Yes, I said. So to be different than the trains, You have to beat the trains, and the trains are automatically going to put people in, especially go to receiver and throw and play with a lot of those guys. However, there will not be a lot of McLaurin in lineups. Also, there will not be a lot of Jalen Warren. However, that's kind of weird because in both games against Baltimore this year, Pittsburgh has used Warren almost more than Najee, especially the last time they played. It was all Warren because when the Steelers are behind, they're going to use Warren. It's simple sauce. I mean, anybody can see it. But if you can't, that's why you have to come to the site and check out Bring the Pain and all of the articles that we have. However, Jalen Warren will be used. The first matchup, though, Najee Harris did get a lot of carries, and I want to say he even got 5 or 6 targets out the backfield, and I think he caught like 5 passes. I mean, that right there to me means that both backs are in play in this game. So, that being said, it sounds like it's going to be a fun game in Baltimore. However, nobody will be thinking about McLaurin. He's 4,900 on DraftKings, and he is 5,500 on FanDuel. And that will give me the cash that I will need to pay it for Kyren Williams. Look, I don't care what you say. This dude is going to get 20 carries, all right? That is what McVay is doing at this point of the season. He is running the ball, keeping his options opening up the play action, and allowing people to play. Plus, you guys haven't even seen anything yet. I'll talk about that in a second, but I got something for you. I got something that only us Ram fans know about, but all of you have forgotten about it, right? So, Kyren Williams, 7,400 on DraftKings and 8,600 on FanDuel. Let's move it over. Yo, Heat Override, what did you save all that money up for? What? None other than one of the macho picks of the week. Oh, yeah, you think there was no hit show. The Macho Man was going to just sit aside and let you just have all the fun. Oh, no. The Macho Man is like the cream. Rise to the top when it comes to fun. Yep. Oh, yeah. That guy just comes out of anywhere anyway. Justin Jefferson, 8,100 on DraftKings, 9,200 on FanDuel. Do I need to say more? Dude had 22 points last time he played the Rams. That's what I need. I need that 22 points again. So he could get more, honestly. Our secondary is a little more healthier now, playing a lot better. You know, Cameron Kinchins has definitely finally got in there and has been able to fill in well with Cameron Curl. So that being said, with the Rams in the secondary working decently, it's still not good. So this game is going to be another 30-20 game. But who's going to get the 30? That's the thing. They both can. Honestly, they both can. So, and that will definitely hurt my defense at the end because it is Rams. But we'll get there. Puka! I'm going to go with the Puka! Puka Nacua, 7,600 on DraftKings and 8,700 on FanDuel. I want him all day. I know how my Rams are using him. This is the old Cooper Kupp role. Although Cooper Kupp has his role, this is like right now, the Rams are playing like the greatest show on turf. Like right now, Puka Nacua is like Torrey Holt. And you have Cooper Kupp is Isaac Bruce. So that is starting to happen. And with all of that happening, I'm still missing one element from that game, right? But he didn't make the lineup. Wide receiver, Calvin Austin the third. I keep telling you about him, right? Last week, I called him out on Tuesday. Pickens dropped almost every single pass. I'm not going to say he didn't drop every pass because he did catch some. But those 4 drops he had, especially the long bomb, and then it just was bad. And then his head was out of the game. So he was missing blocks. He wasn't playing well. He was letting the defense get through his head. That's what he does sometimes. How does he follow up? Really doesn't matter because guess what? When the Steelers played the Ravens last time, they didn't have him. And Calvin Austin did great. He had 5 receptions in that game. And Calvin Austin also will do good in this matchup. Don't hate on Russell Wilson. In the first matchup, Russell Wilson wasn't good. That was a defensive matchup. But Russell Wilson was on his way to a very good matchup when he ended up throwing that interception, and that's what happens sometimes. But when you're looking at 17 points against the Baltimore defense, at that time, that for me right there is sweet. That's the honey, right? Nobody's going to be on Russell Wilson. So that being said, Now that he's got everybody back, they just got punked again. They've been punked. The Steelers can win this game. I'm telling you, the Steelers can win this game. And Baltimore and everybody in their little world could come crashing down. Now, Baltimore could easily go out and stomp them. But even in that even in the scoring discrepancy, because of that pick six, that was the only difference. The Steelers were close and they played like shit that entire first half. So I'm telling you, when I say Calvin Austin III and ain't no optimizer going to give you that. Only Mr. Heat Override. Tight end. It's my boy Hawkinson, dude. Rams just suck against the tight end, right? That's because we have sorry linebackers. No, that tends to happen. But Hawkinson, easy. 4,200 on DraftKings, 5,900 on FanDuel. He's going to get the work, people. I ain't got to even explain it any more than that. You can already see I've got two Vikings, the Vikings I want. Of course, I didn't put Addison in, but I have Rams too. So I have the power team. I have my lineup. I have the cash, and I got Hawkinson, flex, McMillan. I love Jalen McMillan. If you haven't followed me and seen what I've been doing and playing McMillan every single week for the last 4 weeks and telling you to play him, and if you listened or you didn't, that's because you didn't listen to this podcast. You should, because I've been on him for 4 weeks, and for 4 weeks, he's been super, super awesome salary-wise, giving you everything more than almost triple, quadruple his value, especially when we played him 4 weeks ago. So that's what we're talking about right now. 5,200 on DraftKings, which is beautiful. Now, FanDuel does have him at 6,400. So that's a little up there. I wasn't able to work him into the FanDuel lineup. I would have to come off of Hawkinson because Hawkinson's a lot more expensive. I do have the tight end for you. I'm going to mention him now after I get this defense. Rams, 2,900 and 3,900. Okay, sorry about that. Chrissy Ray came out of nowhere. Chrissy Ray, 2A, making that scene at Dr. Roto that the Rams game has been moved to Arizona. I've been recording this podcast while that just was announced, so that is straight on the fly information on Point the Pain. Oh yeah. All right. Well, so now that takes away the home. That was a little series of unfortunate events about the cuts in, the cuts out. Funny thing is, Chrissy Ray came through and she put the camera down on my connection and knocked my connection off. Funny little things. Never really happens on podcasts, but guess what? It did on Bring the Pain. So I was just finishing up. Here are some receivers you're going to have to look out for. Of course, Mims Jr., Romeo Doubs on FanDuel. Dobbs, Mims Jr.'s, Ertz are all around the same price. Now, that's huge because that gives you a lot of sway and move from when I give you my FanDuel lineup because they're all right there. But as far as DK lineup, let's get to it. Let's get to the Ultra Contrarian Lineups. Ooh, yeah. For the year, I was 14. So far, I'm 14-5 on FanDuel. I took a loss last week. I barely cashed with Addison, and he had nothing good going for us. But the injury to Garendo was too much, man. 1 point. 1 point. Literally. And the DK lineup was about to score too. But that 1 point did not do it. So it did miss. I did hit on some of the really cheaper, lower end costumes with that contest, but I'm just still going to count that on DK as a loss. 13-6 on DK so far this year. Let's get to the DK lineup. Stafford, Kyron Williams, Jaleel McLaughlin, Jefferson, Nakua, Austin, Hawk, McMillan, and the Rams. On FanDuel, Stafford, Kyron Williams, McLaughlin, Jefferson, Nakua, Austin, Hawkinson, Marvin Mims Jr. However, you can get Romeo Doubs. I'm bringing in Marvin Mims Jr. because Mims and Dobbs are getting about the same work, but Bo Nix is really looking for Mims when he's getting to the end zone. So because of that, the red zone targets over the last 2 weeks scored 2 touchdowns every single week, being able to grab in more than 4 receptions in these games. That just, for me, right there sells it. He's a lot cheaper than McMillan. McMillan, of course, going with the 6,400. You can't, like I said, you would have to come off of Hawkinson on FanDuel to get down. Of course, the Rams defense rounds out that. Sorry for the little glitch there. Get to Dr. Roto. Check out all the information because you got to know we got the right cure for all of your fantasy needs. And that's how you bring the pain to the competition. May the points be with you. Yeah.